Well, Black and White Network, the nation is healing itself of wokeness. Yeah, wokeness is dying here in this country, folks. And we're almost into the month of May. But when it comes to the month of June, you guys know what's going to be happening. Yes, Pride Month, a full month of celebrating some people's sexuality. What happens at some of these pride parades, some of it is very, very disgusting, to say the least. We're talking about debauchery, simulated sex. And this stuff is actually happening, folks, in front of kids. I believe that that stuff should be banned completely. Now, we know that the Democratic Party, man, they were all on board with this, folks. I mean, what was it? Biden's last year in office, June of last year, maybe it was the year before, I don't remember exactly, where he actually had transgenders on the grounds of the White House, stripping down naked. Yes, they were actually exposing their scars and fake breasts. This is what the Democratic Party supports. Now that President Trump is back in office, folks, we're seeing like all these DEI initiatives and all the wokeness is just falling apart. Now, one of the biggest pride parades out there is Seattle Pride. And Seattle is definitely a far left city. Okay, they definitely are. Remember, that was on ground zero for the Chaz Chop Zone, where far leftists were actually allowed to take over a police precinct. I can't believe that happened, but that's exactly what happened. Well, guess what, folks? Since the nation is actually healing itself, Seattle Pride, they're begging you for money. Why? Because companies, they're backing off this stuff. Yes, Seattle Pride, man, is panicking. They're panicking and they want you to donate because the money is drying up from these corporations. Let's go ahead, guys, and get into it. Right over here, Seattle Pride faces $350,000 funding gap as companies scale back support nationwide. This is beautiful, folks. This is absolutely beautiful. Says here, Pride organizers in cities across America are facing serious money problems, and Seattle is apparently one of them. Seattle Pride has announced a nearly $350,000 shortfall for its 2025 events and is now turning to the community for help. Seattle Pride Executive Director Patty Hearn told KOMO News that corporate support has shifted dramatically. Quote, "We have seen shifts in corporate sponsorship as companies assess their budgets and priorities, and some sponsors have not yet renewed their commitments this year," Hearn said. "We are still in conversations with many of them. It's important to us that we partner with organizations that demonstrate genuine and sustained support for the LGBTQIA2S+. For the longest time, guys, I didn't even know what 2S stand for. I know what it stands for. It means I'm like two-spirit, but I don't even know what that means. But anyway, community year-round. This is especially imperative as our community faces ongoing political attacks. What? You can't put disgusting books in school classrooms? That's the attacks you're talking about? Okay. We know that relying on corporate sponsorships is not the future of Pride. The future is community. That's why we're leaning into grassroots partnerships and radical mutual aid. Man, I mean, maybe they don't get it, man. Maybe they don't get it. Now, if you want to personally donate money to them, hey, that's your business. Go right ahead. But it definitely seems like Seattle Pride is falling on hard times as America is healing itself of wokeness. Guys, there's actually grown men riding around on bicycles completely in the nude around children at these pride parades. Why is that happening? They're not even being arrested. That's indecent exposure, folks. Then they have like this fetish stuff. It is disgusting. Maybe Americans, man, have just said, nah, enough of this stuff. But look here. To close the gap, Seattle Pride is begging the money from the public. Yeah. Quote, when you donate today, you're not just funding Pride 2025, you're investing in a future where LGBTQIA2S plus events are empowered by the community, Hearn said. If every single one of us gave $1, that donation could close the funding gap and make a real difference. Together, we can keep Pride accessible to everyone. This is our community, our pride. Let's make sure it thrives, she added. Yeah. And also, look here, man. Seattle's not the only one. They're not the only one. Look here, it says Seattle isn't the only city facing problems. San Francisco, which is far to the left, man. San Francisco's 2025 Pride celebration recently lost $1.3 million after 4 major corporate sponsors, Comcast, Anheuser-Busch, man, of course, you know, they're trying to heal themselves. Benefit Cosmetics and Diageo, pulled their support. San Francisco Pride's executive director, Suzanne Ford, said the event will continue, but will have to operate with a much smaller budget. Man, boy, is not looking good, man, for wokeness in 2025. I mean, they're in big time trouble. Look here. I didn't know this here. San Francisco Pride ended its relationship with Meta, Facebook, after the company cut DEI initiatives and scaled back fact-checking efforts. Oh, boy. Of course, also St. Louis is seeing the same struggles. Pride St. Louis announced this week that Anheuser-Busch, based in St. Louis, has ended its 30-year sponsorship of Pride Fest. I didn't know that Anheuser-Busch had a 30-year sponsorship with them. Wow. This is big, man. Now, this is what the St. Louis president, Marty Zuniga of St. Louis Pride said, quote, for them to walk away from the table in negotiations simply to note that we just don't see the value in it anymore. It's like a bad breakup, Zuniga said. He also pointed out that other bid sponsors are coming in with much lower support, leaving the group about $150,000 short. Wow. Man, Pride, they're in big trouble, man. Pride events are in big trouble going forward, man. And they're begging the public for support now. Folks, I actually couldn't believe this when I actually heard this, but apparently our younger generation, they're actually leaning more conservative. It's astonishing, right? Because usually you would actually think that these younger people were actually going to lean to the left or the far left. Apparently, that's not the case. They're becoming more Trump supporters than anything. Folks, this is beautiful, man, that America is healing itself. And these pride parades with a lot of these disgusting events is going down. It's going down in flames. These pride events, man, are actually happening in a lot of these left-wing cities. And it's just not enough for them to get money from you. They need these big corporate sponsors to actually fund this. Because, guys, do you actually think that really like suburban or rural people are actually going to pour in money to these events? Probably not. Because a lot of those people have conservative values. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And we'll catch you next time.